Welcome everyone on your Good Morning EDJ, your favorite radio program in the French Riviera. I am Léa Dutrouille, your host for your weekly Morning EDJ show. Mathieu Marinck and Nina Royer are still with me. How are you guys today?
Fine, thank you.
Perfect, and you?
I'm very good. Today's headlines: the censorship of Barnier's government fast approaching, Benjamin Netanyahu allowed to visit France despite ICC arrest warrant, and Amalka, the dog who disappeared from Roissy airport 10 days ago, finally found. But first, Nina with her little sneak peek of today's weather.
A grey morning over the north of the country, the Garonne Valley and the Rhône Valley, but the good news is that the sun is gaining ground during the day. Beware, the gloom could remain on the Alsace Plain and south of the Saône Valley. In Bretagne, the skies remain heavy. Light rain may arrive in the afternoon. In Corsica, showers are expected at the end of the day. The wind is blowing strongly over the tip of Britain, with gusts of up to 70 km per hour. For the temperatures, 6 degrees in Belfort, 8 in Paris, 14 in Brest, 17 in Nice, and the 8 in Tarbes with 22 degrees.
Thank you, Nina. It's right now 8:36, your news bulletin of the week with Mathieu right after the jingle.
It was nothing short of a miracle. Deputies and senators reached a compromise on the 2025 budget. Adopted on Wednesday evening by the Joint Committee, the text provided for an increase in the small pension in July. Businesses, for their part, are off the hook, with their contribution falling. Gone are the 7 hours of free work per year. No increase planned also for tobacco or nicotine. The text will be debated on Monday in the National Assembly, unless the government uses the Article 49.3. The Nouveau Front Populaire has already announced its intention to table a vote of no confidence if this article is used. Marine Le Pen has said that her party would support such a motion. Michel Barnier's last day in Matignon appeared to be numbered. The guns finally silenced in Lebanon. A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah came into effect at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. It puts an end of 2 months' violent crashes. The agreement negotiated by the United States imposes a gradual withdrawal of the Israeli troops from southern Lebanon. The signing of these agreements followed weeks of intense negotiation. The ceasefire was preceded by a final light of bombardments, Israeli strikes on Beirut, and a hail of rockets fired by Hezbollah. This ceasefire opens a 60-day period to try to stabilize the situation. Benjamin Netanyahu threatened an intensive war if the ceasefire with Hezbollah was breached. The tragedy contributed to a question of the road homicide. Frankie D was sentenced to 7 years in prison for the death of Antoine Aleno, son of the famous chef Yannick Aleno. On the 8th of May 2022, drunk and without a license, he drove at 120 km per hour in a stolen Audi. After hitting a taxi, he collided with a scooter. Antoine Aleno, the driver of the two-wheeler, was killed instantly. Frankie D, who was arrested shortly after, had a blood alcohol level of 1.56 grams. On the stand, he admitted the facts, describing his act as irreparable. He had already been convicted 6 times and was facing up to 10 years in prison. 2 accomplices on the trial for stealing the car were acquitted. A Russian Gatsby in Antibes. 4 properties on Cap of Antibes have been added to the blacklist of frozen assets in response to the invasion of Ukraine. The villas belong to Suleiman Karinov, who was already targeted by the authorities in 2016 for acquiring property through hidden tax arrangement. The senator from Dagestan, accused of trying to evade justice, signed a judicial agreement in 2020. Although he denies owning these assets, financial links with Putin have been established, notably with the Pandora Papers. The United States imposed sanctions in 2022, and now France is sealing his villa. Lille shine and Paris crumble. Match 5 of the Champions League brought mixed fortunes for the French clubs. Lille confirmed their fine European campaign with a 2-1 win in Italy against Bologna. The Dogs are among the strong contenders for qualification, level on points with Monaco and Brest. For Monaco, the evening turned into a nightmare. After a good start against Benfica, they lost 3-2 after playing an hour with 10 men. Brest, for their part, could do nothing against an impressive Barca side. Finally, PSG is still a long way from their European summit. Beaten 1-0 by the Bayern Munich, the Parisians suffered their 3 defeat in 5 games. Dominated and ineffective, they are still virtually eliminated. And finally, a runway with a happy ending. After 10 days wandering around Seine-et-Marne, Amalka, a 2-year-old dog, was reunited with her owner Missa, a 29-year-old chasse tourist. The animal had escaped from the hold of a plane at Roissy on the 19th of November. Thanks to report and the hard work of association, Amalka was captured in a secure park. Emaciated but in good health, she will be examined by a vet before boarding the plane again, this time in cabin. This happy ending is a reminder of a very real challenge. Every year, 3 to 5 animals go missing in the Paris airport. This was the case with Zoom, another dog that has been lost for 6 weeks.
And now to go on with the political sphere, the arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu will not be respected by France, Nina Royer.
Last week, the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for war crimes and crimes against humanity against Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant in connection with the operation carried out in the Gaza Strip. This announcement came at a time where the United States and France were working behind the scenes to get the ceasefire agreement signed by Lebanon. But legally, how can France not respect this arrest warrant? Yet, President Macron's determination should not be allowed to pass according to the law. So, what immunity is France talking about? Article 98 of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court introduces an exception concerning the arrest and surrender of officials and of states that have not signed the Rome Statutes and do not recognize the court. This is the case with Israel. France has stated that such immunities apply to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and will have to be taken into consideration. Yet, Paris had even hailed the decision as extremely important when it issued the arrest warrant for Putin. So why this controversial decision against Israel? It could be described as a little arrangement between friends. The Israeli Prime Minister is said to have agreed to sign the ceasefire with Hezbollah, marking a temporary halt to hostilities in Lebanon. In exchange for a favor, you understood that Paris not applied this arrest warrant issued by the ICC. This revelation was made by 2 of Israel's leading daily newspapers on Wednesday, Haaretz and Maariv.
And now it's time for your cinema segment. Let's take a look at Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott's craft torn between the legacy of the original film and the ambitions of this sequel. In 2000, Gladiator, the masterclass in filmmaking, swept audiences and critics alike into the grandeur of ancient Rome. With Russell Crowe's Maximus at the helm, the film was a triumph of storytelling and cinematic artistry, blending visceral action with deeply resonant themes of honor, vengeance, and the fragility of power. Directed by Ridley Scott, known for crafting cinematic worlds in films like Blade Runner and Alien, Gladiator completely redefined the sword and sandal genre, earning 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. And don't forget that the epic tale was underscored by Hans Zimmer's unforgettable score, which amplified every moment of triumph and tragedy like Honor Him or even Now We Are Free. Now, over 2 decades later, Scott brings us back to the Colosseum with Gladiator 2, a sequel ambitious in scope yet at times weighed down by its lofty aspirations. Ridley Scott, now in his mid-80s, proves once again that his creativity and ambition remain unparalleled. With Gladiator 2, he actually pushes boundaries, presenting a visually spectacular yet thematically complex tale. Scott has always balanced artistry with crowd-pleasing action, and this sequel is no exception. From expensive set designs to meticulously crafted battle sequences, the film showcases Scott's signature style, a blend of raw realism and heightened drama. Scott's return to ancient Rome is enriched by modern filmmaking technology, which elevates the experience without losing the tactile authenticity of the original. The Colosseum feels alive, the battles are more brutal, and the cinematography captures both the beauty and brutality of the era. So this sequel centers on Lucius, the nephew of Commodus from the original film, now grown and finding himself drawn into Rome's dangerous political and military machinations. Played by Paul Mescal, Lucius inherits the legacy of Maximus, not just as a gladiator, but as a man torn between vengeance and justice. Mescal brings intensity to the role, his performance striking a balance between ferocity and vulnerability. Then we have Denzel Washington, who delivers a standout performance as Macrinus, a cunning and enigmatic figure whose ambitions shape much of the film's intrigue. Washington's charisma and gravitas provide a counterbalance to Lucius' youthful passion, adding depth to their dynamic. Meanwhile, Pedro Pascal and Connie Nielsen round out a stellar cast, each delivering nuanced performances that indeed elevate the narrative. It kind of builds on its predecessor's foundation, it takes risks by introducing new characters, shifting power dynamics, and also exploring the consequences of Rome's expansionist ambitions. Now, technologically speaking, the film is a marvel. Advances in CGI and practical effects bring the Colosseum and its blood-soaked battles to life like never before. Scott's use of slow motion, dynamic camera angles, and intricate choreography creates action sequences that are both thrilling and visually stunning. The sound design, from the clash of swords to the roar of the crowd, immerses viewers in every fight, while the score, once again helmed by Hans Zimmer, captures the epic and intimate moments alike. But despite its strength, Gladiator 2 has faced challenges, including leaked footage and concerns over its sprawling narrative. Some viewers may find a multitude of characters and subplots overwhelming, as the film strives to explore Rome's complexities while maintaining the personal stakes that defined the original. However, Scott's direction ensures that even when the story falters, the sheer scale and ambition keep audiences engaged. So hear me out, Gladiator 2 is a must-see, obviously. It's in theaters now, and it invites you back to the sound and spectacle of Rome. How can't you be entertained? Hey guys, what do you think? Will you go to the movies and watch Gladiator 2? Did you watch the first one, by the way?
No.
No, me too. I don't watch the first.
And you're not interested in this? After my
not really.
beautiful film critic.
But is the first film is in Netflix or on Disney
I think
Plus
the first
to
is
see
I
it
think the
before?
first one is in a platform, maybe Netflix. I'm not so sure. You need to check it out, but I think so. And yeah.
Do you think you need to first to watch the first?
Yeah, because as I
movie?
said, it's some characters will be back. Like, it's a legacy somehow, so
Okay.
it's better to. And you cannot watch the second one without watching the first one, which is like a masterpiece.
Okay.
How many years between the first Gladiator and the second?
It's like 24 years. Yeah. It's a long,
Okay.
long time.
Okay, yeah.
Voilà. So, as it is almost the end of our show, let's debate about a fact that happens somewhere in the world, yet not so far from us. Uber is launching a women option in France to allow women to choose a driver. Is this a good idea or a regressive one? What do you think, guys?
First of all, I think that some people may see this as a discriminatory toward male drivers, and maybe it could reduce their business. So I think this is not great, and we should work together to find solutions rather than separating men and women. And I think that mainly for women, it could be a poison gift. Rather than addressing harassment, this option may reinforce the idea that women need to isolate themselves and they can't be safe around men. We should treat this problem to the roots, in my opinion. And if the goal is to improve safety, why not put in like panic buttons in cars, or like audio video recording? I don't know, like something linked to policemen. And also, I say it, we should treat this problem to the roots, and we should work together to find solutions, and not think that we should be apart in order to be safe.
Okay.
In the real world, we are together, so I don't understand why.
All right. Yeah, it's a valid concern indeed, because I don't know if you saw this, but this concerns only 1,500 drivers, women drivers, in this Uber platform. So actually, it's not a lot. But if it's, even if it's just in the Paris region, like there are how many people in Paris? I don't remember exactly.
1 million, 2 million? No?
2 million citizens in Paris?
I think so.
Okay, I thought it was like 12 million. I don't know why. And so I think that just 1,500 women drivers will be leading to longer wait times for those women willing to, be brought back home just by a woman driver. So Oh yeah, you're right. 2 million people living in Paris. Okay. And so this undermines the convenience that rideshare services are known for, especially in a bustling city like Paris. If the waiting time becomes a deterrent, many women may revert to using standard rideshare services, diminishing the program's impact. And also, it's well-intentioned, we can see this, but this approach could unintentionally reinforce stereotypes, as you hinted, about women needing special measures for safety rather than addressing broader systemic issues like gender inequality and public safety also, because this is also in bus or train, we see a lot of this.
Yeah. It's not about cars, it's about in the streets.
And I think the most important is the organization of that. I think Uber could find difficult to balance supply and demand with the option. Like you said, there is also other solution like panic button, increased driving training, and maybe to have little recordings of the driver and the passenger is maybe the most useful solution, because there is a lot of situation that you can't do nothing. And also, if there are too many female passenger, I think there is not many female driver, like you said, so it will be complicated if the female passenger wanted a female driver. There is not a lot, so the time to have a female driver will be a lot. And
okay, and do you usually take Uber? Because me, I never take Uber or taxi or whatever, and so is it a problem for you if it's a male driver for you, Nina? And what do you think also matter, because you're a man? So is it you prefer to be drove by a woman or a man? Do you feel insecure, both of you?
Yeah, I usually take Uber, and I prefer to. I don't know. I like it because I feel safe. It's like I am in a car and not walking alone in the street.
Okay, so you feel safer in the car, rather than in the streets or in the train or in the bus.
Yeah, because I'm thinking maybe wrongly that this is a professional driver and he won't do a thing to hurt me. But maybe, like I said, if there is a panic button, or like if I can call the policeman when I need them, maybe it could help women. Some women are scared. I can understand, because they are scared to be surrounded only by a man and in his car, so he can have the power over us.
Yes.
And for me, I don't think it's complicated. For me, I choose not a male or a female. I'm just only checking the road, because I think if the driver could do something with me, could drive me another
so
place.
You mean that you have the itineraries like on Google Maps, and you follow if he follows the
Yeah, because if he wants bad thing with me, I will check, and maybe I would tell him. But if he's a male, or I would tell him if he's a female. But if he's the male, it will be more complicated. And also he's in the front, and me, I am the back, so it's complicated to go out the car also.
Because
it's
you
locked,
we can't run away, en fait.
Yeah, definitely. And about the waiting time, usually is it long, the wait time?
No, it's 5 minutes, but if
5 minutes?
Like,
there are a lot of Ubers.
Maybe in a big city there is
like
2 minutes, but in Paris there are no waiting time, because there is a lot of Ubers. But I think so. But in small cities,
but maybe you think now Ubers are selective. They select the person that they want to take out, and they are looking out of the distance. Yeah, the distance. Yeah, the best money they can make with us. So maybe if you have a cheap course, it will be, you won't be chosen fast.
And also there is the grades you need to grade the drivers before and after the race, the course. So it might be a solution also if there is some problem with the driver.
Yeah, you're right.
Some female noticed it, and you know it,
yeah.
and you don't take this driver.
Yeah, if you not badly the driver, maybe can be called by Uber. I think it is called by Uber, and Uber is taking some.
And Uber's put forward the best driver. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And because there's not only Uber platform, there are like private ones.
Yeah,
like
Bolt also.
Yeah. And do you think it's the same? They should do the same, or?
I'm not on that subject. I don't know a lot about Bolt, but I think so. There was a scandal with some taxis.
I don't know.
I think so, or it was a Tesla taxi who I think drives only female drivers, and it's
problematic.
Need to look, but it's complicated.
No, because when you arrive at the airport, you have a lot of taxi person and all, but they're not always about Uber, right?
Yeah,
also
but there is independent taxis.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
And sometimes there are taxis that are not allowed. So this can be dangerous because they are not...
you talked about a certain button to call the police or whatever in order to feel safer for the people who's getting driven. But if it's a private person, whatever, there's no button. So how do you do then? You see that? It's very complicated. So
Yeah.
Well, here we are. This is the end of your Good Morning EDJ show. Thank you, Mathieu and Nina. Thanks for listening to us. Stay tuned and very safe till the next épisode next week, and see you soon, et bonne journée.